Howdy everyone, welcome back to more for the 2024 Stone Burner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. We host and commentator the BlackShadow, and we do coverage of the Wildcard round. This is the second chance round for places 3rd, 4th and 5th from the group stages to try and get their way through to the quarterfinals. The top two of the tables have already made it way through. Straight shootouts, these pretty much just the winner progresses. And as taking a look at Wildcard E featuring WaterOrFire, Rayverne, Riekon, and Brotato. So let's have a look at the players getting ready for this match. We'll start off with Rayverne, who came 3rd in Group K. Pretty decent record, all things considered. 15 points, 2 wins. Probably a little bit disappointing to not make the top 2. It was a very narrow fight between 4 different players, so it's just narrowly being edged out by a single point, unfortunately, to Tereshar. And they'll be disappointed to have to go through this additional round as well. They won their opening game playing as Fade round, for playing Fade twice, actually. Definitely seems to have a history of playing a lot of very aggressive leaders. Their one game they played outside of that was as Staban Tuek in the final game of the group, finishing a very disappointing 4th place and thus opening the way for other players to take the top 2 spots, which Rayverne was definitely looking pretty decent for at the beginning half of the competition. Next up is WaterOrFire, who finished in 4th place over on Group J. Now, this group was beset by a lot of scheduling difficulties, hence the group looks a little bit weird here. You'll have to apologise for that. It's the way it goes occasionally. WaterOrFire, unfortunately, did not manage to produce any victories over the course of the group. A couple of 2nd places and a couple of 4ths, and just about squeaking through, ultimately, through to the wildcards. Definitely does have a tendency towards deck builders, however. A couple of games played as Margot and also one as Princess Irulan as well. So definitely shows a kind of tendency towards playing there. Probably feel that they're probably got an outside shot of making it through. But again, it's a single game. And, sometimes you just kind of get on a roll in a match to make your way through to the quarterfinals. So they'll probably feel they've got a bit of a free shot here to try and make a way to the quarters. I think would be a pretty decent result for them. The Brotato also finished in 4th place, this time in Group H. This is one that was won by Che Guevara Badger, as you can see at the top of the table. Brotato, unfortunately, not able to produce any victories. Fairly solid outside, though, in 2 seconds and 2 third places. So consistent enough, but just not able to force any victories, unfortunately. His leaders consisting of a couple of spins of Muad'Dib as well as Gurney Halleck, and I believe Margot Fenring as well. So generally very, very aggressive, happy to get himself stuck into it. But it's going to need to try and turn over the fact that he's not won any matches here. Trying to get through 2nd place can happen. The highest scoring 2nd place out of all the group's matches for the wildcard rounds will also get through to the quarterfinals. But you can hardly really play for that. It's kind of a if you get there, you get there sort of thing. So, we'll see what Brotato can do. And lastly, we have Riekon, also known as Henry, 4213, who came 5th place in Group E. Now, they were able to forge a victory in the final game of their group matches, playing as Princess Irulan, managing to just about secure their spot in the top 5, but a little bit struggling for results outside of that, unfortunately. Despite also going down a fairly card-drawing route. A couple of games of Irulan and a couple of games with Margot Fenring as well. So, might be a little bit tricky for them if neither of those leaders are available to them, and they might have to go kind of a little bit outside of that. But, we'll see how things go for this. Either way, I mean, it's a little tricky to know who's going to win this. I definitely think Rayverne is going to feel that they're probably the favourite going into this, but again, it's just a straight shootout match, and the twists of fate that can go through in a game of Dune Uprising is one that I know damn well for sure. So interesting to see how this one will break down. Alright, so get us ready for the match here. Tails being set up. This is definitely quite the international affair. I think WaterOrFire, some Singapore. We've got Brotatoes in Australia, I believe. All over the joint here for this one. Anyways, so WaterOrFire does get the first pick here, which does mean that it is going to be Riekon in the yellow seat who's going to be making the first draft choice. So look at what we've got over here then. Opening a couple of contracts, Deliver Supplies, the starter card cards. Well, people are trying to use that more often, I'm noticing, but I still think it's a bit tricky. Deliver Supplies is popular for the money, but taking it does tend to make it a bit of a target. People do not like you going to Deliver Supplies with that contract the early game. The row itself it's not bad. Some interesting cards here. Smuggler's Haven is probably be the most notable one here. Obviously, being able to convert spice into points. Also, being able to just generate 2 spice on a reveal if you've got a spy down is pretty strong. For someone like a Staban Tuek, for example, very, very powerful. Dangerous Rhetoric as well. Bump for the trash. Someone Elders is a pretty cool card, but needs a lot of synergy to get a lot of use out of it, however. So, this might have some pairing with the Mara Pistol, perhaps. We shall see. As for the leaders available here, we've got no Muad'Dib, which is interesting because Muad'Dib would have been pretty strong here. No Lady Jessica as well. I actually think this actually would not have been the worst Lady Jessica board either. So Staban is going to be of interest, although they have to be careful if they do pick Staban that someone might try and pick ahead of them. And also there's not a lot of faction access out there, so it's a bit of a dangerous pick there. So you probably see a lot of like Gurney, Irulan very likely, Margot. It's probably a reasonable guess as well. We'll see how they pick. Yellow to draft first here. Gurney's been pretty popular in fourth position. I don't expect to see a ton of change here. Maybe like a fade once in a blue moon. Does go for Irulan. Okay. So definitely going to go down the card drawing route here. Rayverne probably just taking Gurney in third. They've obviously picked a lot of aggressive style leaders here. I don't expect them to particularly change, and they do not. Brotato on the second spot. Now it gets a bit more tricky. Like Staban to it looks really appetizing with Smuggler's Haven out there, but it's a bit of a dangerous card. And again, you've got like the Southern Elders out there, but it's a limited faction access, but it is better than nothing, I suppose, when you're obviously going to lose your diplomacy card. Margot it is. Decide not to take any particularly crazy risks, so it's up to Water here what they want to do. Fades out there. They could try going Staban. Maybe Carino once in a blue moon. I can't see Amber being picked here realistically. It doesn't seem like a really good board for her anyways. I'm not entirely sure what is a good board for her, but in any event, and we do see Fade here. So, alright then, let's get ourselves off to the races. Opening conflict is going to be the Fotta Skirmish, so no matches available, but intrigues and money about here, so there'll be a lot of harassing. Fade draws pretty strong. Wow, everyone draws pretty decently except for Irulan. Finds no ring and no faction access, but she should probably get access to either Arakeen or accept contracts, and she might even have a crack at putting some troops in here as well. Maybe Arakeen looks a pretty decent spot with the double daggers. You'd hope to take this down a lot here. Gurney's got both his daggers in this draw as well, which is a bit awkward for him. Not a particularly high persuasion draw as well, so Gurney's hand's a little tricky. Margot's up. Never easy to know exactly what you want to do with Margot here when you've got both your faction accesses and your ring in hand. It's a little bit tricky. Generally, it just is a bit awkward having both faction access cards in hand in position 2. That's never really been particularly different. Not really irrelevant of what you... the strength for being in position 2 is the ability to hit the same thing twice in a row before anyone else can. So not surprising to see deliver supplies taken. Gurney's just going to go Desert Tactics, I would imagine, with his double daggers. He's got his ring as well, so he's going to have an absolute ton of firepower here. But he's going to be down on resources for a bit. Gets one of those daggers out of there immediately. So it's down to Irulan, basically, what she wants to do. She could go Arakeen. She could go accept contract as well. I feel like Arakeen is probably better because she's got the daggers specifically. Gurney's making sure to put in at least 6 strength so he gets his influence off of always smiling. We do see Arakeen looking for anything. Ring will do. So we'll probably does put in all 3, so he's going to put Gurney to task here. Is that a little aggressive, maybe? Fade's got his other faction access and his ring. It'd be secret or dutiful for him. Or he could just use his ring and put down a spy on the Bene Gesserit, which is going to be pretty important here. There's going to be a lot of fighting between them and Margot. And Irulan want a piece of it as well, actually. So might just opt to just go, like, accept contract or something. Maybe pick up, like, deliver supplies, try and hit that sort of in a couple of rounds. And that is, I think we're going to see here. Oh, they go refinery early. Okay. Are they going for the early trash? No, just going to go for the spot. I think I would have preferred going accept contract for that, truthfully. Maybe just deciding they want to give less spots for Margot to potentially send her ring to. She has got the water. I can't see Margot ever hitting research station here. It seems a little bit out there. She's got to have full persuasion anyways, so I can't see her ever doing that. So if she wants to send a ring, it'd be accept contract. We'll see. Faye desperately trying to keep hold of this this intrigue here. I don't think there's a... I don't think putting it in is particularly worth it here. I mean, you're guaranteeing the intrigue, I guess, but you're just making it easy for Margot. And if Margot does decide to be kind of psychotic here, is he really considering going in here and trying to win this fight? He's legitimately considering going in with the third troop and lifting his spy here. Wow. Wow. Well, Margot Fenring's going to be pretty happy. She's just going to go secrets here now and just rock and roll. Apart from Rack is found. Pretty decent draw that early. That might influence her going Haga Basin early here, actually, given she's got both faction access cards in hand. Next hand's going to be, what, Double Dagger, Dune, Riekon, Convincing? Could be interesting. Well, Gurney Halleck could not have expected this when he put in the troops at Desert Tactics. If he wants to put in troops, it's got to be Imperial Basin. It's not a great spot to go to, truthfully. But he's put a lot of strength here, and he might figure it's some sunk cost fallacy here. Bit of a weird spot, this. Could also just go Assembly Hall, but the problem is if he doesn't use his dagger, he is destined surely to get hold of only third place in the conflict, which would be pretty pricey for the intrigue. And maybe even just having the dagger might not even be enough anyways. If anyone's got 2 daggers, like, you're in a lot of trouble here. So, early weird spot for Rayverne. He might be forced into Imperial Basin here. It gives him espionage options next round, I guess, although he can't get the spy there. But I guess next round he's intending just to go probably Fremen. He just want to go Fremen Siege, knowing that Margot has drawn both her faction cards. So I think Gurney might just go Basin and just put the troop in and say, okay, I guess. Or is he going to draw? He is going to draw. That was a bit dangerous. Don't know if I like that move there. I think it was a little risky. You draw your Riekon there, or your faction action especially. Asking for some trouble. But it doesn't pull them. So Irulan will now think, well, she intended obviously to use her ring and trash one of her daggers. The problem is if she doesn't use it, she can probably win. She might go Basin so she can trash a dagger and win the fight. If she cares that much. She might also just settle for second place here. And just tie in the second, looks like it. Takes on Swerving. So after the higher influence and also a bit of garrison, strategic stockpiling is found. So it doesn't trash any daggers at all. Is Fade Ralph really going to lift this spy here? It was an odd deployment. But he might have to here. He might feel he might just be stuck with just the one intrigue for the 3 swords, which is a pretty bad result. But I guess he can't really lift the spy just reasonably. So, expensive first round. Yeah, he's looking at it. It looks a bit iffy, doesn't it? Everyone on free troops here, but he's going to hope he kind of gets lucky. Margot's going to be fairly happy with this situation. Picks up Smuggler's Haven as well. Pretty good. More than happy with that. 4 persuasion for Gurney. But works out there. Tread. Southern Elders. I suspect he'll take the Elders for the access. Maybe try and get some synergy up later on. And Margot with 5 is going to trundle away probably the Treacherous Maneuver here, which is a pretty fortunate spin. That's a pretty decent card for her. And yeah, this is a pricey first round. Just the intrigue for blue and green. Very expensive. Red will not be unhappy with the situation. Nothing to play here. So, yeah, that was expensive. Green I get, and yellow I kind of get, but yeah, blue did not have to get in there. Not entirely sure what they were hoping to achieve out of that, truthfully. Out of position as well. Surely the troops back would have been better. Anyways, so Desert Mouse found for Gurney. Doesn't match him. Fade finds Detonation, which is pretty useful for later. And then Irulan will pull Opportunism. Wow, she's got a couple of very strong intrigues here. But she needs resources desperately. So, going to be heavily after that. My influencer maybe trying to go down a shipping route, maybe. We'll see. Round 2 is Shadow Contest, so it is another Fopter. I don't see how Irulan could possibly win this fight, though. But she might try and take advantage of the fact that no one else is going to match here. They might go in heavy, like on a Desert Tactics, and try and make this work here. Margot obviously has a pretty terrible hand. Just going to go Riekon and try and draw one of her better cards. Far from guaranteed. That's a good find. Diplomacy. Well, I suspect we'll be putting in at least 2 troops, if not all 3 here. It's an alliance she wants to go after as well for the Bene Gesserit bump. She gets up to 2 persuasion. That gets Prepare the Ways already activated. So it's going to be at least 2 troops. Gurney will go to the Fremen, of course. He pulls Southern Elders, which is pretty nice in a way. That gives him some extra water. So, you know, it's not the worst. So what does Irulan want to do here? She's drawn both her faction access cards. She knows she's got her ring coming with the likes of a dagger or unswerving loyalty next round for some spice here. So Irulan could conceivably go Desert Tactics and try and just win this outright. Thinking she's got a chance to try and match this, and she might not receive a ton of opposition. But Gurney's whacked in the 2 troops, and as is Margot. Margot's pretty scary here. And we'll know that Margot has a lot of firepower, so maybe thinks the better of it. Yep, does go the shipping route. Just specifically because she's got so much of a heavy requirement on resources. Not entirely surprised by this. Might still go Desert Tactics, you never know. Fade does have his Diplo. Probably has to Desert Tactics a lot of the time here. Knows he's not going to beat Gurney to Siege, however. Are there any other better moves here? Could go Secrets, I guess. Dutiful doesn't look great. Bit of a tricky sort of spot here. Feel like you've got to use your Diplo now, though, right? I think he probably is going to... I think go Secrets. I don't know. He does want that hook access, though. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. He could also just try and go for some spice. Maybe you go Imperial base in espionage here. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do. Or maybe even threaten going Spice Refine and trying to get Swordmaster a bit quicker here. I think this is probably better. Get some spies down. It's probably better this. Maybe get his spy to the High Council area so he can get to Spice Refinery and try and get his Swordmaster pretty quickly. Well, Margot, what do you want to do here? Could go Desert Tactics just to trash one dagger out of hand. Again, this is a fight she does want to win, though. She would be conscious that Irulan might have ideas about it, but she can only win the fight by going Desert Tactics. So Tactics is good for you, probably, in the long run. And it also denies Irulan her chances to hit Desert Tactics, which she might throw at you. There's a couple intrigues in hand, will be a little bit uncomfortable, so... I think that's what I'd probably be doing. Tactics, trash a dagger out, put an extra troop in. Sorry. Kind of depends. Like, do you think you're gonna... It's either that, or do you commit a side down this shipping route? I think Tactics might be the move. No, just gonna go Secrets. Okay. Well, she gets the 2 spice, which means she can actually play leverage if she wants. That is legal. She gets the 2 spice courtesy of the loyalty bonus here. So taking the 2 spice, yeah, I guess is also okay. Maybe think she might actually win it. But yeah, leverage is certainly playable if she wants to. But the contracts out there aren't great for her, truthfully. Might just keep that in hand. And opts to do so. Gurney will get his hooks going. This troop will be going in. So Margot cannot win this. She must have known if she doesn't put any troops in here that she knows she's giving up the fight here, surely. That bump would have been, you know, wouldn't have said no to it, but hey-ho. So Irulan, I think he's doing Desert Tactics. She is going to do so. And she's going to put it in here. And she's not even trashing. Look at that. She is that committed to try and win it. I told you, I had a feeling she was going to go in heavy for this. Unfortunately, Gurney's got his dagger back, so he's not going to take this down. Fade does go Espionage, pulls their ring. That's a little bit unfortunate. Not the card they wanted to see that at all. It's a terrible draw for them. It's a really bad draw. It's about the only card they didn't want to see, really. So it's going to leave Margot with 3 to buy. We've got a couple of pistols on the row. Tread in Darkness, Spy Network, Winning Wombs out there as well. So fairly cheap. Everyone's got like 3 or 4 persuasion. So this row is about to cycle very quickly. Fade's thinking about putting his Spy on Siege for hooks, but I do think Council is slightly better here. So Margot's 2 daggers, kind of not really doing a whole lot here. Might have been wishing she put in all 3 troops now. Perhaps a bit of a missed opportunity. Spy Network looks really attractive because she can put a spy on a mining space for Smuggler's Haven. She can put it on like Hagger Basin or something. I think that's probably her best move actually. But she might go Malapis, but I think Spy Network is better for her. Just because you can then reveal Smuggler's Haven, and it's then 2 spies on reveal plus the persuasion, rather than just using it outright. But no, goes for the pistol. Overthrow comes off. It's a big card. No one's anywhere near that, but that might be a target for someone in a moment. That might influence Margaret going for like a research station here. So 4 to buy, not 6. They do not have any Fremen Bond. Now they might go Spy Network again. That spy on Hagger Basin looks really attractive here for a lot of people. But he's also eyeing up some Bene Gesserit synergy. So he's looking at synergy between Tread in Darkness and the Southern Elders, but it might be a bit awkward to make work here. Irulan will take Calculus, which just peels off for it. It's pretty useful. And then Fade with 4. Again, a couple of decent cards out there. Space's Guild Favor now out there. But unfortunately, out of his price range. So it's probably Spy Network, judging what's out there. And I don't know where you put the spy. Do you put this spy on Siege now? Maybe you put it on the Fremen? Yeah, you probably get into the Fremen. I think putting it on like Siege is probably okay here. Means that Gurney can't get in your way hugely. Gurney Halleck, of course, is looking at going Siege Deep Desert here. Is now Harakeen Spy. So that's got a couple of reasons. A, it's getting in the way of Margot. And B, I think he's considering getting some extra draw power for Overthrow. But I do think Siege is stronger. And he does opt for that. It's nothing to play for anyone here. So green and yellow are going to tie for an Intrigue, Spice, and Troop. Red is only going to get 1 troop for this, a little bit disappointing. He does go for the Fremen Spy in the end. I don't think he needs to do that, personally. I do think Siege is better. I think he's getting there a lot of the time, but, you know, in any event. Yeah, no one anything to play here. And now everyone will know that no one at the moment has any battle intrigues. I certainly know that Red doesn't have any. Not that it's in combat, at least, so... yeah. Red will be really wishing they put in that extra troop, and they probably could have done earlier, but oh well. A couple of endgames come off here. Spice Trade for Gurney Halleck. Interesting. A bit tricky to get as Gurney sometimes, but could make it work. And Shadow Alliance for Irulan is a bit unlucky, because she's already got Opportunism. She doesn't really need both. The odds of getting that much faction stuff going is really hard. Wow, and Irulan's unlucky. She's not drawn her ring. It's the only card she's got left to draw, I think, is her ring. And I'm pretty sure she had intentions of trashing it with Unswerving Loyalty. But she's not drawn it. Gurney has found... Gurney's found Southern Elders again, and it's Trome Security, so he is going to be just getting it in here. He's not even going to wait to look to worry about Siege Tabar. He's just gonna blast it in. It's one of those conflicts where, like, if he wins it, he's happy. If he gets second place, he's also not particularly upset. There's a couple of these that are pretty wild, so don't know what Irulan's going to do here. She desperately wants to draw, I feel. And I think she's just going to go accept contract to do it. Maybe she can pick up the harvest contract. Because then what she can do is she can pair up, yeah. So the way this works is, so if you send the ring to a harvest space, any additional spice sources you get also count towards the harvest for that turn. But she can only get 3 at Imperial Basin, unfortunately. So she'd have to wait for that. Maybe she's eyeing up some spice refinery. Fade's just going to continue going espionage here. Puts the spy down on the Bene Gesserit before he's even done anything. 2, 4, 6. He's not an overthrow. I think Margot would be wishing that they'd taken Spy Network. I do think that Spy Network would have had some really cool synergy with Smuggler's Haven. I do think that was a miss. Now, this is a matching conflict for her, by the way. So Depart from Arrakis is likely. And if she does it, she's pretty much guaranteed to win this fight. I don't see anyone realistically opposing her here. Probably forced to go. I mean, it's interesting. Do you go gather support here? Oh, you don't have any money. I was thinking gather support, get the water for for Deep Desert here. Deep Desert is well worth fighting for. Gurney will think, well, either I win it or I get the water back. Does not have... Interestingly, he sent his ring to Haga Basin, by the way, so not giving himself chances to get back to Siege. Margot will use leverage here. Now there's a contract that she's more interested in Research Station. This is a pretty decent one for her. She's not going there right now, of course. Holding on to Depart from Arrakis. No need to use that right now. Wait a minute. Wait, she's not using Depart from Arrakis here? Now that is a surprise. She can't deploy. There's nowhere to go. What's going on here? Gurney finds Cho and Profits, so he's got 3 endgame cards in hand now, which is a bit awkward, truthfully. A couple of awkward hands. Oh, Irulan actually had another card here, so I assume she's going to trash out a hand. I don't know if she is going to trash Unswerving. She might just trash the dagger here. Goes Spice Refinery, makes sense. Needs to get some money to go. Just desperate for resources. Yeah, trash the dagger. Try and trash Unswerving later on here with some extra bonus spice, probably for Harvest. Hope to like pick up Signet and Unswerving. Maybe he might just go straight to Haga Basin or something. So Fade's got 6 Persuasion. He can draw off of Prepare now. Not too sure what he's going to do here, though. Is there ever any gather support here? Oh, he can go Siege. My apologies. Yeah, just go Siege then. Makes sense. Again, not the card I really wanted to see here. That's the problem when you draw off the your final action, though. Sometimes you just see stuff you don't want to see here. Fade's got to go in for this. He's got to try and get second place. I think he's kind of forced into it. But yeah, Margot... I don't know what Margot's going to do here. Just gonna take the point and hold on to the part from Arrakis here. So it looks like Fade Ralph is going to get hold of the water, probably. And Gurney Halleck's going to win this, and he will not be unhappy with this. 5 Persuasion. Does not have the Pheromone Bond. But Spacing's Guild Favour looks pretty juicy, and he'll take that, I imagine, and does. Probably Spectacle comes out. Irulan will be grabbing hold of that. No spies down at the moment, but she won't care. That helps for opportunism. Fade with 6. Ecological could do worse. Access is access. I don't know. Not quite what he's going for, though, but I feel like he might take it. He's looking at the how the ties work here, basically, but you don't need to worry about that. Although if he's looking at it because he's scared about tying with Irulan or Margot, which is why he's spending the spy, because if he was to tie in second place, he would not get the water, and he thinks it's too important. So he's spending the spy to do so, which I don't hate. He doesn't need to actually do that, but he doesn't know that. Be a pretty bad result. Feels he's got to get that water. He's got to get to Deep Desert. He does have hooks, of course, so he's praying the next conflict is not walled, but it's about... I don't know, it's about a coin flip. Just takes another prepare, nothing else. Not surprised. And Margot with 3... Might go ecological? No, just another prepare the way. So, people being a bit docile on it. Don't want anything to play. So, Gurney will win. A couple of bumps. Gets 2 contract choices as well. Which he won't hate because he's got Cho and Profits. So, there's a legitimate chance that he might try and make some moves for this. He also has shipping access as well, and the money for it. And Spice Refinery he'll be taking surely. Yeah, there's an outside chance of getting Cho and Profits. We'll see what happens. And Red gets the intrigue. And they pick up Reach Agreement, which is, yeah, so-so. More Thopter fights. Just a loyalty now. Well, Irulan tried having it the first one and missed. And, oh, she's not drawn great here. Princess Irulan is got another tricky hand here. It's Ape Solari for the Swordmaster. It's not a walled fight, though, so Fade Ralph is going to be going absolutely all in here. Irulan probably just got to use Treacherous. I don't know where she's going with this, though. Did she just go deliver supplies? No, gonna go Fremkit. Gonna put the troop in here. Feels a little ambitious. Treasure's ability is to trash this another Emperor card. She does have Camuculus, so she could make that into a double bump later. Or vice versa, for a load of swords. Fade will be going Deep Desert all day. And then it's off to Margot here. What does she want to do? Probably just going to go Seats for her hooks. Oh no, she's the one that doesn't have the persuasion. She needs a lot of resources, of course. Could go deliver supplies. You're threatening research station. You're making life a bit awkward for Fade. This isn't the worst conflict to win either. There's a tactics maybe to trash the dagger. Also not the worst, but I think deliver supplies is interesting. It just gives you... Like, you're just threatening all license at Fade Ralph, and you're kind of forcing him to put in more forces here. I imagine he might well put them in anyways, but you're kind of putting him to a bit of a decision. Or you could go Hagar Blason to stop Gurney getting worms in on this fight, if you care that much. Spice isn't terrible for you. You've got apart from Arrakis. And you've got Reach Agreement as well, so you're going to want to get pretty liberally in here, I imagine. Could go Desert Tats and just throw in all 3. It's not an outrageous decision. Because you've got Reach Agreement and you're basically forcing Fade to have to kind of overcommit to this fight a little bit. Which would be nice to do. No, just going to take more city contracts. Well, Gurney Halleck, I suspect, is going to go deliver supplies. Oh, no, I thought he might go deliver supplies shipping there, truthfully. No, espionage it is, so he's surely just going to start picking up, put a spy on Hagar Basin now, I would imagine. And he does. No one else has done it yet, so might as well, I guess. Deliver supplies shipping could be interesting. Irulan will grab hooks. Should we want to hit Siege as much as possible? She needs to get a third bump with the Fremen, of course, so she can get the Possibly cash in the water with the Fremen. So Fade of his Ring will be trashing. Where does he go here? Does he just go Arakeen? I suspect he will. Spy Network will allow him, if he wants to, he can lift a spy for an intrigue, which he might do. He pulls his Convincing, which is a pretty insane draw, actually. He's got 7 Persuasion. Might be worth, like, hunting for an intrigue. You might find a way to get yourself to overthrow. He has to put in at least another troop, minimum. He's going to imagine that Margot's probably not going in here. He probably just wins us a lot. I'm not entirely sure what Margot's plan to do here. Not really sure. Unless you're looking to go Arakeen and just put a ton of pressure on Fade, make him spend some resources so you can retreat your troops, reach agreement. Is that what she's considering doing here? It's 4 troops whether she goes in Research Station or Arakeen. Because Arakeen gives the bonus troop. Research Station gives a couple of coins. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Margot's plan is here, being honest. If she was expecting to go to Arakeen without someone going there, I think that was probably a little bit ambitious. She's got to put in some troops, surely, because of Reach Agreement. I think she's probably forced to just go Arakeen here. Really? It's either that or Haga Basin to get the spice for Depart for Arrakis. And also to tell Gurney White, if you want to get in, you've got to spend your spy and force a cost here. I guess letting Gurney put the worm in for free here is a bit ridiculous. I can't see her using Depart here, but it's definitely potential, but I don't think she's going to. Nope. So if Gurney wants to double his rewards, he's got to spend his spy to do it. And he's probably pretty unlikely to get it back. Other options. He's got 7 Persuasion. Could just go Spice Refinery. Draw a couple of cards and try and get hold of the Spice Must Flow. He's used the wrong card. Just got to highlight that. And that is what he's going to do. So he's going to make the play for Overthrow here. Does pay for the cash. Gets 2 draws. Not guaranteed to get there. No. No. He has to put in all his forces. He's got 7 Persuasion, but 2 daggers. So if he finishes with 6 combat strength total, which he will do now with the 2 daggers, he will get to Overthrow. So not the draw he particularly wanted to see, though, losing his ring, but it is what it is. So Irulan, again, limping in a troop and getting nothing for it. This is sapping away her combat strength. 4 Persuasion. It's not the greatest looking row for 4, truthfully. Might take Ecological for some faction access, and does. Fade's got 7. I think Fade might lift a spy for an intrigue to try and fluke his way to Overthrow. I think he might do it. Yeah, he doesn't need the spy there anymore. Can he fluke it? No, not off that. But it's a good combat card nonetheless. 3 swords. And he's going to get up to 5 sooner. So 7 it is. Not buying anything hurts with 7 Persuasion, I'm not going to lie. He is Fade. Like, he can make a purchase. Probably just take a pistol, I would guess. But I don't think he's going to buy much else on that. He'll be a little bit disappointed, but, you know, I think it was worth lifting to try and find it. Margot with 3 to buy. Don't know if she'll buy much of anything. Harvester's up there now. Hidden Missive's out there. I think it's actually kind of an interesting sort of card. It's just a bit awkward to use sometimes. If you can get this to the likes of like Imperial Privilege or something, or even Assembly Hall when this is activated, you're getting a lot of stuff done in a short time frame. But Hidden Missive, unfortunately, not a very popular card. Bit of trivia though, I'm fairly sure Hidden Missive is the first card I ever bought in Dune Uprising. So a bit of trivia for you there. So Gurney is just going to take the spice, I guess. I don't know. It's because of Overthrow. I mean, I would have seen what Overthrow would have generated first, but whatever. Done now. So 7 plus the 2 swords. We know it's 8. It's fine. And Cunning is pulled. No, it auto does it. So that was not the pull. I'll get shuffled back in. People still getting used to the mod, you know. But anyways, that's still a really big card for Gurney Halleck there, and he'll be very happy with that. And he's threatening a lot of alliances now. Nothing anyone's gonna play here. I don't think Margot's gonna retreat the troops. I think she feels she's got to keep the free cash. So everyone's gonna pass. I can't see her retreating the troops. She's thinking about it, committing us and putting herself to her next fight. I guess she's thinking, well, if I get the free Solari, but she can just go Refinery. I think she's got to take it, yeah. So, where's Fade? So Fade will put the spy back at the council. Spacing Guild looks pretty good, yeah. And I would say at the moment, yeah, Fader Alpha's going to be feeling pretty happy about life. First the Swordmaster. He's worming these conflicts, getting his points. Got a couple of decent intrigues as well. He can break the wall if he needs to. Fade will be fairly happy. Gurney Halleck will be looking to get his spy. Interesting to see if Fade lifts his spy from the council or not, by the way. I don't know if he's going to. Basin is next. It is our first walled conflict. Look at Fade Ralph's hand, by the way. My goodness. That is a hand. I assume he just uses a repair to just to cycle his deck a bit here. Having the 2 daggers isn't the worst anyways. Margot's got a ring and Diplo. So Gurney Halleck does have a way, if he can get to Espionage, assuming that Fade lifts his spy though, which I'm not sure he's going to. I don't think I would. Yeah, I would keep that on the lockdown. Yeah, I think that's the right call. Don't give people the chance to get that early. You know, delay them as much as you can. I think that's totally fine. So there's Fade and Irulan have the mouse signs. Irulan's hand, by the way, is pretty nuts. Spectacle, power. Probably Spectacle's an Emperor card? Man, I forgot about that. Unswerving Loyalty is surely going to get trashed now as well. She wants to get to Imperial Basin with the ring and then trash Unswerving to get the to get all the stuff. That's what she kind of wants to do here, I suspect. Her hand's almost too good, really. Spectacle, at least, is going to just be revealed for the spy, because there's nowhere to send it, so she's probably just going to reveal Calculus and Spectacle, and just take the rewards here. I can't see her trashing Spectacle with Calculus for the battle victory. That seems very unlikely. Margot probably just needs to set herself up for Swordmaster next round. So the question is, does she want to go Spice Refinery now or later? Also, does she want to use the ring for a card draw? Or does she to put spies down? Or does she save it with Malapistol? She might use Malapistol to draw 2 though, I don't know. 4 Persuasion. Maybe there's a world where Margot Fenring legitimately goes Spice Refinery, and depending on her draw, she might even go High Council to get Spice for slow. But she also feels that she's currently first to reveal when there's a second public spectacle out in the row. Wow. Well, that tells you what she's intending to do. Another dagger. Wow. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She can't even high council for Spice of Slow now. She's stuck at 6. Wow. It's a bit of an unlucky draw, I'm gonna be kind of honest. She's got to spy up a Welder Basin or the desert. She's surely for Smuggler's Haven. No. Guess she's just gonna plan to use it every single time she sees it, I guess. There are worlds she goes to Fremkit, draws twice with the spy draw, and gets up to 9. If she can find both convincing sort of thing. I think she's got a second prepare, actually, so she might have decent odds of getting the Spice was Flow. She's definitely making the play for it. Yeah, it's just going to get it in here. Might as well, I suppose. The Spice is good for you. It's also a bit of denial to Irulan and Fade. It's going to be hard for them to challenge over the top of you here. Gurney will draw. Chooses he's going to trash the dagger out as well, I guess. He's overthrowing hand. Get rid of the Dune, I guess. Okay. Well, he's got Spacing Guild, so he feels it's an upgrade. Not getting rid of the dagger, though, is interesting. Gurney Halleck is eyeing up... Gurney Halleck's going Imperial Privilege. I think that's what he's looking to do here. He's going in. He's going to go Dutiful Service because he wants more contracts, and he's going to go Imperial Privilege. The other side have got contracts out there as well, so he's thinking that he actually has a shot at Tron Profits. Secure Spice Trade is not particularly easy for him to score here, I don't think. So he might go Dutiful, Imperial Privilege, cycle out Secure Spice Trade, and then probably make use of like something or another here. I think that might be what he's looking to do here. If he's going to get rid of Dune, that's my assumption of what his plan is here. I don't hate the move, by the way. Could also go Fremkit and just look to just take the alliance away and just trying to hold on to it, but it's going to be a bit iffy. You're probably going to see some competition there. But he's going to. So, okay. Pause is convincing. I bet he's kind of wishing he kept his Doom card now. Unless he's intending to go High Council, but he's got no Fremen Bond, so I don't quite know what Gurney's doing exactly here. I think Dutiful and Privilege here, I think would have been really cool. I think Tron Profits he could probably get. He might be able to get Secure Spice Trade. I cannot see how he gets both, though. Irulan picking up the Spice. She's going to go Hagar Basin instead of Imperial Basin for reasons I don't understand. Why would you not just save the water here? I don't know. Has she missed that there's a Spice in the basin? I can't tell her. Guess she just missed it. Well, Fade's going to say, oh yeah, you know that 2 Spice? It's right there. Fade Ralpha is going, he's eyeing up Highliner here. He's threatening it. He might even go Sardu Card maybe because he's got Detonation. I don't know. Daggers in hand. But yeah, Irulan's just missed that entirely, I think, and is going to allow Fade Ralpha to go after this. It's terrible news for Margot as well. Margot must be fearing the worst here. Cannot get the Spice for Slow anymore. If that's what she was intending to do. That's not entirely true. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw. That's the other alternative here. She could go Riekon and double draw got to make a decision if she... I can't see how she wants to heavily go after this fight. It doesn't match for her, and she's got reach agreement. Obviously was intending to go Fremkit, but definitely can't now. So if she wants to go Spice Plus Flow, it's Arakeen and pull the Spy and hope you get lucky. It's on. But it's not guaranteed. There's no other realistic way of getting it if you're after it. The other issue she's got as well is I believe... She's a bit worried about drawing, because if she has got prepared, that she feels that's her guaranteed way of getting to Swordmaster next round, and if she doesn't draw it next round, she could be in some trouble. Which, quite frankly, she would be, because that Spy at the council might be staying there for a bit. She goes to deliver supply, so she can get the card draw off the part from Arrakis. Interesting. Also wants the water to try to get Hagabasa next round as well. Maybe even finish second and finish with free water to go Deep Desert. We'll see. Anyways, so Gurney decides to go accept contract. Should take the Sardo car personally. I think you should be doubling up your contracts where possible. No Fremen Bond, so just the 7 persuasion for him. I mean, I guess he's probably going to go High Council anyways, given his build here. He is trying, Rayverne is trying his damage to get both Chosen Prophets and Secure Spice Trade off at the same time, but it's going to be really difficult to do so, I think. Hello? Irulan's trying to trash here. She also decides, she feels well she needs that third bump anyways, and it's a fight she needs to go for the water. So that's what she's going for here, for stockpiling. Gets rid of Riekon instead of the dagger, which is interesting. A lot of like-for-like trashing going on in this one. So, Fade. Highline it is. Now, how many troops does he actually put in? 3? Gives him 12 strength, plus his intrigue. He might think 4 is enough. Truth be told, I'd think 4 is probably enough, but he knows that Margot's sitting on some daggers, and there's some intrigues as well, so... And he'd rather not use winning combat right now. I think he'll spend the extra troop. He'd rather like get the extra bump with the Bene Gesserits to get those +2 swords later. I think he'll spend the extra troop. And I think I would probably spend the extra troop as well. I'd rather maintain the intrigue. Yeah, I think this is slightly better. So, Margot with 5. We'll take the other Spectacle. Gurney's got 7 and a water. But doesn't seem like Gurney's going to get to Deep Desert next round. I cannot see Irulan trashing Calculus. There's no reason to, so she'll just get the free Persuasion and a Spy with Spectacle. Probably going to like the Emperor, I would guess. She does need to get up there, of course. She does have Birthright, so get the intrigue for that. Gurney happy to, yeah, with the 7. Taking delivery agreement, so he is going all in on these contracts and end games. He is going to absolutely commit to it. Very live or die here. Covert Operation comes up, by the way, which is not the worst card, but she's looking to be Spoils, which is another Emperor card for Calculus of Power. Get the free swords from Spoils and then trash it with Calculus for +6. I don't hate that, truthfully. It's also another card that she can combine with Treacherous Maneuver for a double bump. I think Beast Spoils is probably the better pick here. You only really need the 1 Spy for the hit with Public Spectacle. You're probably only going to see it once, maybe twice, and you want to be hitting Espionage yourself anyway, so I think they're going Beast Spoils. It just gives you some fodder to send Treacherous into a double bump at a faction. And you need those bumps for opportunism desperately. And Shadow Alliance. So I think for me, I'm going all in on Emperor here. Might disagree. Covert Operation is also just fine, but I think specifically for the synergy of Calculus and Treacherous Maneuver, I think you just take the Emperor card. Maybe sometimes even use Beast Spores. Yeah, I like this. I think this is the right call. And wow! She trashes Spectacle for +3 swords! Oh my god! Well, I did not see that coming. Wow. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. That. Curious to know what you guys are going to make of that one. She's done it for a water and a troop. I don't know. I can't. When you got Opportunism and Shadow Alliance, get rid of Spectacle? I don't. I don't think I can get behind that, kids. So here comes Reach Agreement. She's going to retreat the 2, take the high on a contract. It's going to force a type with her and Gurney. Interesting thing, if Irulan had not actually done that, she would have got the water on Spice. So it means that Irulan now gets 2 water. Margot is conceded Deep Desert, which is also interesting for the Highlander contract. Man, oh, what happened in that one? That was a pretty wild round. We'll move on, I guess. What a strange one. Well, it's still walled. Spice Refinery it is. Gurney's got no matches, by the way. Only dagger is with Margot. Well, if Margot wants to score the Smuggler's Haven point, she's got to go Hager Basin. Which I suspect she's going to do. But then how are you going to have the Spice of Highliner or anything else here? Yeah, this is... I feel like Red's kind of getting themselves stuck into a bit of a hole here, personally. I think the commitments on the resources here is a little too great. Obviously, Tier 3 conflict's coming next. You haven't got the Spy there as well. She also, needs a Swordmaster. But I guess, I'd be trying to go Swordmaster. No one's going Hager Basin here when it's not a walled conflict. You can probably get there if you want to do that, right? So this should be a curious little turn, this. Gurney Halleck's got to start getting his contracts cashed in here. So High Council is first. He gets a free Solari rebate. Got to have the 5 cash in the first place. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, folks. Tabletop Simulator had an interesting hiccup. He managed to rectify the situation and just about saved the table in time as well. So that's good. Anyways, so where were we? Right, High Council Gurney. The Spy at the Council causing havoc for players here, slowing them down. Irulan has not drawn amazing here, by the way. She's in a spot of bother. I feel like Irulan might just gather support here for the water. And or potential... She also wants to play the ring to trash some stuff as well. Like, it's pretty time just to get gather support stockpiling going here. Hello. Hello, Green. It's because of Shadow Alliance, of course, and Opportunism. This is why. So she's going to make the threat here. Figures she's going to hit the water this way anyways. And she'll probably play Signet Ring, but she'd have to trash Calculus now to get the spice. Unless she's just going to go Imperial Basin. Interesting. Well, the fun begins. Green will not be happy about this. Green kind of being forced to go desert tactics a lot here. I don't think they'll particularly mind. Faye just Arakeen draws a couple of cards. 6. He's at 9 persuasion, so Spices Flow likely here. More redrawing options. Sorry about that. So what does Margot want to do here? If she wants to cash in Smuggler's Haven, it's either deliver supplies or just go Hagar Basin. It's a point each way. I guess you don't need to spend the spice or the water. You don't have to. Like, if you went Hagar Basin and cashed in, like, you are completely resourceless, which is probably not a good idea. So maybe deliver supplies is stronger. Because it gives you research station odds. And it is a fight that you want to go for as well. And it then gives you the spice used for Depart for Arrakis. So you could probably get the Alliance. You're probably getting a research station a lot of the time. You could try and win the fight. Get your spice back. Get your Spices Flow as well. You know, that's like a 3-point round there. Although I will say, by sending Haven to deliver supplies, you know, it's probably somewhat telegraphing what you're probably going to go ahead and do by getting that second water as well. But I feel like that's probably the best way for Margot to go about this. I don't really think anything else makes a whole ton of sense. Unless you want... I mean, you can't go to Siege. I can't see why you'd go Refinery. I guess you could go Arakeen. But don't you want to try and make a play for this Alliance? The money's not the worst for you either. High Council would be good. Maybe some privilege later on. I think that's how I would play it. I think I would go deliver supplies and then threatening a research station. Again, you're the only person it matches for, so you might again, you have to part for Arrakis. You can pretty much guarantee winning this, and you're going to have a lot of draw here. I think that's how I would play this as Margot. Deliver supplies, research station. I feel like that's the route I'd want to take here. But no, just Arakeen in the single draw here. And now she's got her signet ring actually drawn. Which you now kind of have to use a lot of the time, right? Yeah, it's a bit... This is now a bit iffy, this. Like, this kind of is sort of ish achieving the same sort of deal, but I just think getting in front of that Alliance as well is going to be pretty good. I don't think you're going to see a lot of opposition for the Spacing Alliance, truthfully. I can't see Green going at you a lot there. He does have deliver supplies, which he is interested in cashing in, though. And by not getting involved now, you're kind of asking for trouble. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this. I think this is a little... It's the same sort of principle and idea, but I do think the way around is not the best. End of the game is nearing, though. But I just get the feeling that the Brotatos kind of get themselves into a bit of a hole here, and they're trying to scramble their way out of it. It's all going to go in, of course. But no, I don't feel like this is the most efficient way to do this. It's almost like they were just hoping to hit another 2 persuasion card and kind of get lucky. They get the Arakeen Spy, but now where's that going? I guess they're going to go accept contract and just double draw and hope? That's not really what you wanted to be doing. Yeah, this has been a bit iffy, this. It's been a bit iffy. Like, they might still win the fight anyways, but... My only assumption is they're still intending to go Hagar Basin. They figure that a guarantee point is worth sacrificing the resources. So, Gurning would just take the resources now. Obviously prepping up for future Highliners. Doesn't want to be given to Irulan. Maybe he senses that Irulan's after the resources a bit here. I think Irulan's just going to go Imperial Basin. I've got a funny feeling. But Irulan is definitely behind on points here. 8 persuasion in hand. Maybe she's going to go for... Yeah, she's going to go for the Spiceless Flow as well. Intelligence report is found. It's a card draw. She has 8 persuasion still. She's going to take Weirding Way to protect that. Yeah, a bit weird this now. The problem now, though, is... Alright, you've got the 9 persuasion, but now what are you doing? You going to use Opportunism now? Yeah, just going to use it now. So, yeah, notice the down bumps elsewhere here. So, interesting that she's doing that. Obviously, she still needs the 3rd influence for the Fremen. And she's going to try and threaten that back for Shadow Alliance here. But I think Gurney will be feeling a little bit happy that about the mischief going on over there. It's a couple of points regardless. But Irulan's gone a bit of an interesting way about this, I guess. Also, they've got no persuasion with any other faction at the moment. That is not good. Fade will just go Siege. Is he going to blow the wall? Don't think so. Doesn't need to. He's got detonation. He's pulled his ring, by the way. Which is a bit awkward. He might just go accept contract, probably, if he can get back there. So what's Margot going to do? 8 persuasion. I assume she's just going to go accept contract, pull the spy, and just draw 2 and try and hit the point, but then Smuggler's Haven was just a 1 persuasion card, but she was really bad. Yeah, as I say, at least going the Alliance route, you get the Solari out of that as well. I don't think you see a lot of opposition. Like, you probably just have it anyways. I feel like almost the Reds playing for 8 rounds here and looking to maybe highline round 8. But odds of that are also not the highest. Especially when people know you're sitting with a highliner contract, they're not really going to let you get there a lot of the time. And it's a bump from the Alliance. Imperium Rose, a couple of interesting cards. Branching Paths out here. This is the Alliance one. It's pretty nice if you can get it. Co-operations out there. Charney's out there. It's a nice card. Gurney's got 6 persuasion, so I assume he's taking Charney a lot here. Does have that Fremen bonding with the Southern Elders. He's yet to get any synergy between Southern Elders and Tread, by the way. He'll be hoping to get that this next round. Still going to get these 2 contracts as well. Deliver Supplies and Sarukar, which is getting difficult now. Running out of time. No, what's Red planning here? Now, they could use Depart from Arrakis and not actually use the Spice here. The Spice is not mandatory. The draw is, now they have the influence. But yeah, I feel like Red is just absolutely hating how they played this round. And I'll be honest, looking at it from this perspective, I don't particularly like it either. They've got themselves into a right hassle. They feel like they should be using Smuggler's Haven, but there's just... You know, unless they use Depart from Arrakis and Fluke 2 Persuasion card, I don't even know if they have one in their deck, truthfully. They're just forced to go accept contract, I think, here, and just take the High Council a lot of the time. But it's really awkward. Like, you know, they could go to the Basin Guild for a point, Haga Basin for a point. They do just go Haga Basin for the sure point, but they're going to be completely out of resources. They're going to hope to win this. And they're going to look to, score the point here, get the match as well, but then what? They're kind of at 6, and then they're kind of a bit stranded, really. They're going to be needing some serious help. Gurney with 6 will take Charney. Irulan with Spice Must Flow. Fade with Spice Must Flow. Then Margot's got 7. Oh my god, by the way, look at that. Primary Contract has come out, by the way. That's the other contract card for Green here. And Green, of course, has gone all in on this contract route and playing for these endgames. Again, I don't think... I mean, well, I've just said, different people see it different ways. And they're being harassed at the throne as well, which is not comfortable. So it's all a bit messy here. Face have got an action, by the way. He feels he has to use his ring. But he'd have to go to accept contracts and hope he doesn't pull a dagger. It's gamble. He's scared. He's very scared of this. Also, the problem is he gets the spy reward here, but all his spies are down. So he's not getting much reward. Oh, he does pull the dagger! Oh, no! Wow. Well, that is a disaster for Blue. It's the one thing they didn't want to happen, and it has. That is a blow. That is a significant blow. They're going to be forced to go down like this branching path route now, I think. Or hope that they fluke an intrigue from Imperial Spy. The problem with that, though, is that, well, Intelligence Report is gone, that they don't know that. The dispatch one that Green uses is also gone. There's not really much out there. Manipulate can't be used on Spiceless Flow card. They just got to trash the dagger, surely. Or are they just going to trash Riekon and say, well, what are we going to do? It's a horror draw for Fade, but it's the gamble he took. Should he have gone for it? Was it greedy? Yes. It was definitely greedy. And he's paid a heavy price. Even trashing the convincing at this point. So Fade is just kind of getting ready for combat here. He's going to rely on winning this on round 7, try and get some matches or something, but this looks really, really bad here. So Margot is 7. She still wants to use the part for Arrakis to draw here. But I can't. I cannot get behind it. I can't get behind it. She's got 7 cards. Let's have a little look here. Yeah, there's no two persuasion cards out there, so there's nothing she can do. I've got to say, everyone is kind of struggling here, truthfully. This is buying Gurney time. I think Gurney is in some difficulties as well. He needs a couple of rounds, and everyone else is kind of struggling to score, so this is kind of working out decently for him. Doesn't even buy anything with 7. That hurts. Not even tempted by Branching Path? I think I would have taken that. I think that's a bit of a miss. Generate some spice for your Smuggler's Haven. I think I would have been taking that as red here. Never mind. Fade's going to lift a spy for... Oh, he takes the swords! He's taking the swords to deny red. Wow. Wow, well. Brotato is going to be absolutely hating life. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Until the trade comes out. Red hates life. Is Fate going to take the win here? I assume not. Nope. So just force of the tie of Margot, who is in a miserable situation now. She finds mercenaries. She's going to struggle to cash in now. Spice's power found for blue is absolutely insane. Has blue just gone favourite? We shall see. Anyways. Oh my goodness me. Wow. It's propaganda round 7. Is no walls. And nothing is safe. Fade gets his sword mastered already, Southern Elders. He's threatening Highliners. Irulan has Highliner access, and she might even rip it in with Beast Balls here for the double bump. But she needs the spice. I think she has to use Treacherous Maneuver and Beast Balls together here and get them trashed out. What is Irulan's plan here? I think she's eyeing up Hagar Basin, thinking that she might be able to pick up some water somewhere. She can also, of course, like look to Treacherous and like just absolutely take the Fremen Alliance. I think she's going Hagar Basin. She feels she's got to protect some water here, which she does. So just going to get the worm in and hope to somehow get spice out of this, I guess. She is threatening Highliner still. I think she's got to get the worm in first. She's only got one action, though. So she's pinning on Highline here. What on earth is Fader Alpha going to do here? It's a fight he feels he has to win. And so he's going to arm up for Highliner Spice. Goodness me. Well, Margot Fenring has just got to score what they can here. Spectacle is found. They can get some bumps going, of course. Margot Fenring is just desperately just trying to recover here. And what is Gurney Halleck going to do? I don't think Gurney Halleck can realistically pull the trigger. He's got his delivery agreement in hand, but he hasn't got the contract, so he can't cash those in. Man. It's kind of ridiculous, this, isn't it? It feels like this game's got 8 rounds written all over it. What on earth does Gurney do here? Does he rip it? He can't resist. He cannot resist ripping it in. Feels he has to stop yellow highlining. Letting her win this with the worm would be too much. I don't think they're particularly happy about getting it in here, truthfully. I don't think they can win it a ton, but they have obviously got Southern Elders coming, so they can probably get some bumps out of this. It also gives them some insurance policy with the Fremen as well. So what does Irulan do here? Be Spoils and Treacherous is a double bump still. She desperately needs influence. So much so that I think using diplomacy is wrong, but the problem she's also got is that she doesn't want to put this worm in and have nothing. She feels she's got to get the spice out of it. honestly don't know what Irulan's going to do here. Could just double bump Fremen, but she might just take the swords and intrigue here. Feels she's got to get something out of the fight. She's probably never seeing any of these cards ever again is the problem. And she can't spend water. She'd have to go Fremkit. Surely she's got to go Fremkit here to get stockpiling points going. But does she double bump it? I feel like Fremkit's going to be the move. No, just going to go deliver supplies and just take the full trash here and just score the point and go with stockpile this way. Okay, this is also, this is also the way of doing it. So just going to take what points she can here and pray that she somehow gets third place here, which should not be allowed by red. I don't believe it will be allowed by red. Fade uses branching path, but he can't get the alliance. So he's not allowed to make the trash. He's got to put a spy. Oh, he put the spy down there. They're wondering how she got the double bump. They're just being treacherous. You very rarely see the double bump from treacherous maneuver. Very hard to pull off, truthfully. So just asking how she did that. Margot will spectacle the Fremen here. Now, what does she do? Does she choose to get in front of the Spacey Alliance here and deny Gurney? If there's ever a time to stop Gurney Halleck scoring this alliance, this is the only chance to do it. I mean, he could have unexpected allies. Of course, he is threatening just going Haggard-based himself, though, anyways. He's got infiltration. So, maybe you don't bother and you just take, like, the Emperor bump here or something. Or the Fremen bump, which I only prefer, and you just stay out of it. It doesn't feel great that you've got Highliner. It's an alliance you can go for. 8 Persuasion in hand. Oh, my goodness. So you probably have to go Assembly Hall here. Margot's not enjoying life right now. Not at all. I think she should take the Emperor bump, truthfully. But if she takes the Spacing Alliance, it means she can then play Mercenaries. And she does want a couple of troops here to try and to wrestle third place or second place away from yellow. Just going to take the card draw. Well, that's Riekon. That's 9 Persuasion. But no Prepare the Way, no Convincings. They're all in a draw pile. It's not the card she was looking for. I think she's going to take it with the Fremen here. I think she should probably bump Emperor. I don't know, nothing feels great here. Just scoring what points they can here, but this is... It's a little hideous. This has to go in, obviously. So, Irulan's Worm for absolutely nothing. And Gurney Halleck is going to be fancying their chances now in this match. This is 3 points here. Couple of friendships and the Spacing Alliance. But yeah, what a brutal round this was for Irulan. I get going Haggard Basin, thinking that you've got to try and make the play for Highliner. But yeah, it feels pretty bad to have just Haggard Basin and basically done absolutely nothing. And then not even play your Diplo. Maybe you just stay out Haggard Basin, I don't know. Anyways, Fade Ralpha is decided that he still wants a piece of this fight. And he's got, obviously, the firepower to do it, so... Now, he can't worm it, but he can still take the Benny Alliance here at the minimum. No, he's got to be. He's got to put it all in here. He's trying to cheat this off here, but he's trying to think if I can save 2 garrison. I've got a couple of daggers, but I don't think you can do that. I think this fight is a little too important. Don't think you can do that. You only put 1 in, so yeah. You only put 1 in initially, so it's only 5 plus the 2. Can't put in 8. Why I only put in 1 earlier, I have no idea, by the way, but he did. As it is, this is going to be enough. This is going to be a big blow for Gurney. Kind of forced into it, really. I don't think he had much of an alternative, but yeah, it's all falling apart here. Now, again, WaterOrFire is only going to get a couple of bumps, so he's going to take Benny bump, and you imagine he probably takes the Emperor bump as well. He also gets an endgame match for his Ornithopter, which is useful. But there's a lot of play in this game left. Irulan's sitting on Highline Spice, but I don't know if she can actually get them. Of course, she's got stockpiling as well. How is Irulan scoring points here? I have no idea. Margot's just going to go Assembly Hall. Not much she can really do. And she didn't do that with her Signet Ring. Oh, she only had 8. My apologies. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7, 8. My apologies. Paul's question weapons, by the way. It's not bad. Plus, my swords could be pretty good. I think she's going to use it as well here, because Irulan's going to go first, and she's going to pass, and then Margot's just going to use questionable methods for a sword and just take 3 spies. Margot's like dragging herself into this game here, and she needs the spice in case she repulls Smuggler's Haven here. Faye considering using detonation to get this last troop in, but does not need to. He's got 6 to buy. Cannot get into the trade. Too expensive. So Margot's going to get a point. And she is scrambling. For points here. Yeah, and the +1 sword. And I assume Margot will play questionable methods here. I don't know if she'll take the down bump though. Assumably, if Irulan's not playing, then you just lose the sword and call it a day. Yep. So major result. No one have anything to play. So I don't want to say that's the end of Riekon's chances in this competition, but it's looking pretty bad. Oh my goodness me! So he finds more endgame. He's got the Chris knife now, as well as detonation. Oh my goodness me! Gurney Halliday has had the weirdest set of stuff go on. Fade Ralph picks up Call to Arms. Princess Irulan could double secret steal here. Oh, she doesn't draw any faction access. What a shame. So round 8 is Spice Refinery. It's the money fight. And, well, there's not a lot of it out there. Man. So, intelligence report to draw a card. Calculus found. Just nice, but there's no Emperor card along with it. What is Irulan going to do here? Like, how do you score points? Like, you know stockpiling's +2, but then what? I don't think there's any way she can realistically win the fight. She's got to assume that someone's going to highline here. Somehow or another. Of course, Gurney's sitting on Overthrow, which was coming soon. We've not seen it for a bit. Yeah, Irulan in a wretched spot here. Now, she could ship, because then she can trash the Spice of Slow card and get 2 spice back. I think that's what I would do. I would play Signet Ring to shipping, to take your bump with like the Fremen, for example. Maybe try and force Gurney into some kind of action, and get your spice back, I guess. That's about the best I can think of. No one's going high council before you. Your Swordmaster's fine. You probably get to both if you want it. If you have the access. I don't know what Irulan does here. I'll be honest. Like I think... I mean, I don't see any real route to victory here. I think this is kind of the best they've got. Trash the Spiceless Flow. Get a couple of spice from it back. Yeah, so it goes back in the supply. They must think by now that she's probably got stockpiling, by the way. Has to bump the Fremen. It's the only logical choice. It's an endgame point. But Irulan needs this game to go for like about 12 rounds. I feel to have much of a chance of winning this game. And for everyone to just stop playing. It's a bad spot here for Riekon. Don't really see any routes here. Fade Ralpha will feel if they can just win this fight, they might be another chance here. They need spice, preferably, and a load of swords. So spice must flow. But the battle's only worth a point. That's the only problem. No match, no money. They'll play Call to Arms. That'll sit there towards the end. Just for some extra garrison, which might be useful with detonation. What he's planning to do here is go Hacker Basin for the worm. And just hope that he just wins it through sheer force of power, basically. And I think Fade Ralpha might well win this, because he's got the detonation. Now, if Gurney Halleck detonates ahead of time for Hager Basin, that would be awesome, and it's what he's got to do here. His only chance is to detonate now and get in front of Hager Basin before Fade Ralpha tries to do something. In case he's got it. He's had a few intrigues. He'll be terrified of Highline being taken by Irulan, though, which is why he's going to Highline first, probably. Oh, he's going Savfk! Because he needs the draw. He's still after these points. Oh my goodness. Well, he's found Imperium politics, which he can't play. Goodness me. And he can't get to deliver supplies. So Kristoff's going to be played for a spice. And he's going to just detonate and chuck him in here. Because he feels he's got to protect his hand. So Fade Ralpha now knows that he can Hager Basin safely here. And he knows he's probably dodged a bullet. Goodness me. Yeah, there's the only problem with doing the ring to shipping specifically is now you can't get high counts if that's what you're after. Although I honestly don't know really at this point. Fade has to just get Hager Basin in now, but he's going to realise that he might be in some problems here. He's got Weirding Combat for 5 swords, but I don't see any way he's going to pick up the free spice. What can Fade do here? He can go in with his ring. He does get a troop and the spy. He can obviously lift a spy. So 4, 1 would be 7, troop would be 9, spy lift would be 11. His current daggers would be 14, and Weirding Combat would be 19 strength. So the question is 19 strength enough to win this? I'll be honest, I'd say you've got pretty decent odds of 19 strength being good enough here. Unless Gurney Halleck can somehow get back to Highliner. And he redrew his access with his diplomacy. Or if Margot Fenring has a way of getting the Highliner here. And she just rips it in with the Highliner and something else she might have. 19's not comfortable. But I don't really see what else Fade Ralph has got. And I think he has to do it now. Goes for the spice. Now, this spy will be telling. And that will be telling. And to me, I'd be looking at saying he's got detonation himself. He's got like a spy pull or something. Imperial Basin? Does he have any cards that generate spice? Margot just goes Assembly Hall. Finds market opportunity, by the way, which isn't the worst. I guess. She can buy some cash if she wants. But she's got no spice or spectacle. Goni now goes Fremkit. He gets the intrigue because he has 3 units in the conflict. Doesn't mean he has to deploy them. Wow. I mean, it's huge. But he hasn't got any spies down. He also can't use Imperium politics. So now he's at risk of secret stealing. Somehow no one has any faction access out there. Which is completely insane. But Gurney Halleck has just pulled diplomacy. I didn't even see that. That is unbelievable. The thing is, Gurney kind of almost wants to hit deliver supplies in a way so he could get the money, but he's... How did he find diplomacy? What? I guess Irulan just... What do you do here as Irulan? Like, it's so horrible, this. You just go siege? You got no spies? I guess you just go siege and just... Put the dude in? Such a bizarre round, this. Are we going 9 rounds? Because Gurney's going to get it in here. And he's got swords in hand. So here comes the wall blow. But Fade now loses a sword doing this. And he does not have the spice for Spice's power. Unless he's going to take the swords instead of the spice. If he thinks he needs them. The problem he's got is if he plays Spice's power and keeps the spice, he's pretty much guaranteed to win the fight, but he can't end the game. Because he can only score 1 point. If he worms it and wins... Oh, he still can't end the game, though. He can't get Spice plus flow. But he's got to gamble. Like, I can't see how he doesn't blow the wall here. Like, he set himself up to do this.
No! Atomics!
Has he got any cards that generate Spice? I legit don't know. There aren't many in the game that do that. Does not pull the spy. Oh, he pulls his diplomacy. He didn't want to see that. He wanted that for next round, most likely. So Margot Fenring has 9 persuasion. I think Margot Fenring just has to... She could play Mark Opportunity to get High Council. I think that's the only thing I would do. Is Mark Opportunity, sell the spice, get the cash, and then use Prepare the Way to go High Council. That's why he's looking at his draw pile. I think that's the only thing I would be probably doing here. And I think he might as well. Is Red going to win this game? Surely not. Surely not. But quite frankly, like, it's kind of absurd that we're still going here. We are nearing 2 hours deep in this match. And there is no winner in sight. Margot doesn't want to spend the spice because she thinks she might find a way to Highlander next round because she's terrified of her diplomacy's coming. And bear in mind, if it's Highliner, she has mercenaries coming as well. And there's the spy. Is Margot Fenring going to win this game? Is Margot Fenring going to win this game? Gurney pops in with the high line. It's all going in. It's no. No, you cannot. You cannot. He's got Spice of Slow coming as well. He's got to get it in. He's no choice. He can play Imperial Politics now if he wants. He probably should do to protect his spacing alliance. I think that would be my move. I don't know if I'd be going Emperor. I think that's the better move. Yeah, he agrees. So the crazy thing is, so Gurney's going to finish at 19 strength. And Fade... I don't know what Fade's going to be at strength-wise here. Irulan's wishing... She's probably wishing she put the troop in now. I don't know why she didn't. I know why she didn't, but she should have done. And Fade Ralph is now doing the maths here. So he's at 9 strength. His dagger's 11. Spy would be 13. Weirding Conflict's only 18. He can only tie as he sees it here. And might not even win, because Gurney hasn't revealed yet. This is bad news for Margot in a way. But Margot's got the spy on the Highliner here, so... But Fade Ralph is going to be able to highline, and he's going to have Spice's power, and he's going to have Weirding Conflict in hand as well, and Margot is going to be very upset to see these swords in the next round. This is going to be a bloodbath. But she's got Highliner contract, she's got mercenaries. I'll be honest, I don't know who's going to win this match. You feel like it's going to come down to Margot and Fade probably, but Gurney's hanging in there, but he's got no progress. He's got to hit deliver supplies somehow. He's got to get there to get Choran Profits off. Delivery Agreement's going to reveal again for just the spice. He still hasn't got that filled. Irulan's sitting on 3 points basically, but I can't see how she's scoring outside of that. Oh, Fade's gonna use it. If Fade Ralph is lifting his spy, he is legitimately considering using Weirding Conflict just to tie. Which I don't think is correct, but he's doing it because he's scared that Gurney can win and just end the game here. So he's going to give himself the option to possibly tie Gurney if he feels he has to. But Gurney cannot finish. He's going to get Spice with Flow here. He's going to have the 9 Persuasion because of the conflict and High Council. But that's it. Gurney cannot win. Fade can't time anyways. So Fade Ralph has got Spice's power, but he should definitely hold on to it. He should not retreat these troops. The swords are far superior for him here because he's going to have a bucket of spicy. He's going to get 6 and 2 intrigues anyways, unless he wants to protect his hand. And he's going to gamble it. Oh, he's going to protect his hand. Wow, Margot is not unhappy to see that, by the way. She is not unhappy to see that. So Fade Ralph is going to be hoping that it is the spice conflict at Imperial Basin. Council Ambition is a blank. Impress is a couple of swords. I guess you feel it was profit. And we're going 9 rounds, which is completely ridiculous. Yellow, unfortunately, is a bit distant here, but it's pretty close between the rest here. It is Refinery. So potential extra point here for the Spice. It is a match for Fade, but he's already got the endgame match anyway, so it's not a big deal. But it does not match Margot, and it does not match Gurney, which is very significant. And Fade Ralpha has drawn hideously. He does have the Benny Alliance now, so he can get Branching Path. He can cycle out Cancer's Ambition, because he can't use it. He gets the bonus troop as well. He almost wants to wait for it, though. He almost wants Margot to use the Spy, but I don't think Margot will use the Spy at the Highline. She shouldn't. I think Fade has to go hunting anyways. If he can find Diversion... What's he doing here? Is he going shipping? I can't see that being... I think Fade Ralpha has to try and hunt for Diversion. It's the one where if you put in 3 troops, you can put a Spy anywhere and it's unobstructed. That would get him to Highliner. He does ship. Fade Ralpha is going for High Council. He is going for High Council. I'm a little surprised at this move. I mean, he's not got any particularly great moves here, but this is a bit of a strange one. Takes the bump with the Spacing Guild. What is happening here? Margot Fenring is wondering what the heck's going on. She feels she has to highline, but she doesn't have to highline in theory. I can't see why Fade would make that move if he didn't have access. You've got market opportunity, so no one can buy the Spice, and Irulan just looks like she's playing strategic stockpiling. Well, on this conflict, she might feel if she got access, she might go for it. What is Marco doing here, though? Like, was it a block? So she can highline and just put in 18 strength between mercenaries and everything. She could also just play favor to somewhere else, but it's weird. It's the problem with this conflict here. It's not great for her to win. It's only worth a point. Unless Margot Fenring, there is a chance. So what Margot could do is she could highline but not play mercenaries, and then she gets herself to Spice Refinery to make the cash, and then use market opportunity to then turn it back into Solari, 5 Solari for 5 spies, and she gets an extra point of conflict that way. That would get to 10. But then you wouldn't be feeling as confident about winning the fight. And of course, if you do that and you lose the fight, like, you're just dead. No matter, it's only the winner that goes through here. 1 second place out of 15 games. Can't really play for it. I mean, I think Margaret just has to do it. Fade Ralph is giving himself the chance that Margot pulls the spy from Highliner, so he can go espionage and try and find access. He's given himself a couple of options here. Surely she's got to leave the spy down. Wow, she turns it down. Margot Fenring turns down Highliner. If it was Riekon, she'd have already have gone in because it would have been a match with the daggers, and she could try and get another spy down. Unbelievable. Well, Gurney finally gets his 4th contract off, so he's got 1 endgame point. If he can find delivery agreement, he's laughing. He's found overthrow, which is just as good. I think Gurney Halleck's just become favourite to win this match. But he's got no Fremen bond for the Southern Elders, but I don't think he's going to care. He's going to be at 10 points. If you can find a Spiceless Flow, it is worth double points, by the way. Irulan's just going to draw a ton of cards here. She can spend the 2 water, because she's got so much to draw 2 more. Turn it effectively into a mini research station. I don't think she's got any Emperor cards with Calculus anymore. Fade will espionage. He pulls Prepare the Way. He does want to get to Imperial Privilege. So he can trash something and get something back for 2. So he's going to get rid of Impress here. Special mission is found. It's +2 spice. Fade Rafa's going to think they... The thing is, how do they get troops in, though? Digging for Highlander access, basically. Irulan also missing the Highlander access. I think she might have been forced to do, honestly, if she finds it, because she gets the match with the Thopter. I don't know how far Irulan goes down into to diving for that, though. Well, Margot, what's the next plan? I'll be honest, I have no idea. I think they're just hating their life right now, really. No access. No supplies. Do you just go mercenaries in refinery to use mercenaries and just kind of hope to get lucky? Like, what else you got here? Assembly hall, maybe? Just with your dagger? Or assembly hall with the ring and put the spy on the Riekon, so you can still get a card draw out of refinery. There's no way to get Spiceless Flow here. There's no way to get any of these contracts fulfilled. I think Gurney Halleck's going to win this. I think Gurney's probably just going to go and dagger Imperial Privilege here. If he could find any way to get this Spiceless Flow, it is worth double points. To the point he might not even use Overthrow, depending on what he draws. Imperial Privilege seems an obvious place for Gurney to go here. I think it's the best Margot's got, is go Imperial Privilege and then just send Riekon to Spice Refinery and hope it all works out. Or you go gather support and then instead to get the troops to send in with Refinery, but how are you ever winning this fight? You gave it up, surely, by not going Highliner. Oof. Uses market she's gonna use this. I don't really know quite why you would use this right now, but whatever. She just wants to use mercenaries immediately and draw. Anything useful? No. That is as blank as it gets. Privilege surely for Gurney. Now, does he get rid of Spring here? I assume. Finds Diplomacy. By Choam is found that it's +4 swords. Has to take the Gamma Supplies agent off. 2, 3, 5, 6. Throwing Bond is nothing. He's only got 8 persuasion at the moment. Does not have any combat strength, so he doesn't get the +1 there. He's still behind. Irulan has, what's that, 10, I think? Irulan's in this really bizarre spot where she's wondering if she should get involved here and try and take this down. She's tempted, isn't she? She is very tempted to get it in at research station and try and actually take this down. But there's just nothing behind. How could you ever do that? Just going to go gather support and try and get lucky on an intrigue. Unfortunately, Ornithopter just went. It's been a long old game, this. Did not think this game would go that long. Wow. Well, I tell you what. It looks great on the surface. Problem. It's not worth nothing. She can't do anything with it. She can't take the Throne Alliance. She can't get any of the bumps with the Emperor or the spacing because she's got no access. That's unlucky. Yeah, just taking the card in hand. No surprise there. Irulan can do nothing with by access. That is incredibly sad. Fatal Privilege. Can he find Highlander access? No. No, he cannot. He cannot. Ambition will go now. He finds a second special mission. It's espionage or the shipping spy. I think I'll take this. I mean, problem with this is that if you're doing this, Gurney of course just wants a bump, and he'd be okay with going espionage probably. I think this game is over. I think Gurney Halleck now just goes espionage, and he's just going to finish on like 11. And he'll go with diplomacy as well, and he might even, if he flukes a 2 persuasion card, it's game over. And he has them in his deck. So Gurney Halleck is out just to win this outright here. It's Siege for Margot. And diplomacy is the final card of the deck. So yeah, Gurney Halleck, if he goes espionage and gets a 2 persuasion card from his draw, it's over. Oh, he can do it with this as well. It's over. Gurney Halleck wins. Oh, it's a point. It's still a point. It's still a point. It's not what he was looking for, the secure spice trade. He's still stuck at 8. But he was obviously looking for the Spiceless Flow was worth more. But this one's over. Rayverne's going to win this. He's going to finish on what, like 12 points? Oh, he does have... Oh, hold on a second. He does have the extra action, though. So what I think he's going to do... He should put it on the... So he's thinking of going here with Overthrow, but he can't get the spell. So would it be better to go with the Fremen here and double draw Frem Kit? I think that is actually better, I guess. This only gets you 1 point. But the problem is if you go Fremen and don't hit it, then you're dead. Or is he just going to go Research Station here? Bit sad to not use Delivery Agreement though and get the point from that. So it looks like he's just going to take the point here and call it a day. But it looks like Green's going to win this. He's going to finish on like 12 points, and I don't see how anyone's going to beat him here. Irulan feels she's just got to get in now. She has to try to win this, in the hope that Fade can't win it. It's the right move. You might as well take the chance. You give up a point, but you have to try and gamble here because there's a chance for a lot of points. It's the only chance to get to 10. If she scores it all, she does finish at 10 points. And remember, she has Shadow Alliance for the 11th point here. So this is Irulan's only chance, is to go in here at Deep Desert and hope she wins. It's all she's got. Oh, and Spice's Flow is coming. There's no way Irulan's going to win this. If Irulan wins this match, it would be the damnedest victory. Surely not. Fade Ralph is going to put an end to this with weirding conflict and just getting stuck in. But he's got nowhere really to deploy into. 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. He'd have to go Spice Refinery. Well, fair play for Irulan for finding the one move that gives her a shot at this. Oh, here comes Arakeen. Why not use Mala Pistol? Oh, he feels he's got to win the fight. He's missed the Spice's Flow again. He's missed it again. Can you believe it? Unreal. Well, Red tried to scramble the way out of this and couldn't find it. But Gurney Halleck is hoping that Blue does them a solid here. I don't know why they took 2 injuries. Why did you take 2 contracts? Yeah, that shouldn't be there. So that's got to go back in the pile here. There's only 5 contracts left, by the way. It doesn't matter, but... Oh, Irulan. She actually had half a chance here. Would she have won this on Solari tiebreak? I legit think she would have done as well. But Fade Ralpha is going to rob Yellow of victory here. She's just stockpiling. She realizes that she's no good and she can't win. She realizes that Blue surely has them beat. The correct move is to not play that and just hope that you fluke it and that somehow you win and that you score all 5 points and the Spice Must Flow and Shadow Alliance and that you win on Solari tiebreak. Unfortunately, I mean, it's not going to be. You can only pull one for the oh, hold on, sorry. Oh, you're pulling for Spy Network, my apologies. So Green is going to win this. It's been an absolute scramble. He's pulled one too many intrigues. It doesn't really matter what it was. Fair play for Yellow for finding the one move which gave them a hope of somehow winning. It would have been the damnedest victory, by the way. But it's all over. Rayverne will go through to the quarterfinals. It was not a particularly clinical win by any stretch of imagination. But he won't care. What a ridiculous match this has been. Wild match. And now Yellow sees just how far behind they were in this one. How dead they were. Yeah, they found the right move. They just didn't have anything for it. Did their damnedest. Well, I will say credit for Yellow for finding the only move that gave them a remote chance of trying to win this.
Yeah.
But not really to be. This is a weird old game. I guess congrats to Rayverne for getting through. Maybe not the most clinical win you'll ever have in your playing of this game, but I guess it will do.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, like you went so hard in early for this. I was like, well, he's playing for 8 rounds. Well, as we know, he went to 9.
Yeah.
Kind of wacky.
Wow.
Yeah, I think everyone's very late Swordmasters really pushed it back.
Yeah. We know who to blame for that, of course.
Yep, mea culpa.
But yeah, this is all really awkward there. Obviously, like you're not sure, like do you go highline? Do you just take the save point? Like
yeah,
you're obviously you were hoping it was going to be Arrow King. That was obviously by far.
Yeah, if it was a match, it would have been a no-brainer. But without it, and my other problem was Reconnaissance and Diplo were the last 2 cards in my deck, so I had to take the 50-50 to try and get Diplo to try and get
anything you could, and yeah, it just didn't happen.
And yeah, I just had a lot of really awkward hands, and I think I drew double dagger every single time I saw them, so it just made things very clunky and hard to play around.
Yeah, you look like you were suffering a lot this game.
Yeah, I think round 5 and round 6 I missed Spice Must Flows. I think I saw you searching my draw pile to see if I could play my intrigue to draw a card to hit a Spice.
You were obviously looking at it, but yeah, you had nothing.
Yeah. I'm almost certain I only had 1 cost and daggers left in there.
Yeah.
It was just how I drew the cards just didn't work out. It was just very clunky and a lot of hard choices. I think round 6 as well. I just had to grid combat against blue and just hope he just wasn't interested in it to get my match, but we ended up drawing.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff as well. Like green was desperately trying to happen to find their Diplo off of the privilege draw, I think it was as well, and stuff like that. It was a funky old game. Obviously, there was all sorts of fun with the Fremen Alliance as well, pulling both Shadow and Opportunism them a bit awkward, and then obviously having to sacrifice points elsewhere. Just like this was a bit of an awkward game. Twice blue pulled their dagger to lose the Spice Flow.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
One shot. I mean, I was one shot of overthrow as well. So.
Yeah, I know, absolutely disgusting. I said with the you pull these both early. I was thinking, well, you could probably get one. It's hard to get both, but I mean, you nearly got there. I guess if the game goes long enough, like you got the odds, and you drew delivery awkward as well.
Very true.
But
cool.
yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah, GG.
Congratulations.
Okay.
So we'll see you on through, and I hope everyone else has enjoyed.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna run, guys. Thanks for the game. Got to go to work.
Yeah.
And,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Good
need
luck.
to work. I need to go to bed.
This group's
Fall
time
asleep
zones
after this.
are very rough.
This is a very
Actually,
international.
out of curiosity, Riekon, are you from America?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah, so we got South Africa, Australia, and Singapore, America trying to organize a game.
All the flavors.
Oh, actually, yeah. That's all around now.
So confirmation of the result then that indeed Rayverne will make it through to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal J specifically, where Mongoose, OMB Creative, and fellow qualifier Roma will be waiting for him for a place in the semi-finals. WaterOrFire will not make it through as the highest scoring second place. Joe Klein currently on that with 11 points. Obviously a long way to go. And again, you can't really play for the second place, but he's not going to make it nonetheless. But yeah, definitely a really fascinating game. Everyone had like a really awkward time with this. Like, it's not the first 9-rounder I've casted in this tournament. Obviously, the other game was eventful. If you've not seen it, I think you should see it. It was like Group A Week 4 or something like that. I can't quite recall, but regardless, it's been a good little match this, and a decent watch. Glad to save it for this one. Bit of a tough spot. Yeah, Red got in just all manner of awkwardness. And Ireland just unfortunately couldn't get going. Just kind of drew a bit awkward, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves. See you in the next conflict.